All right, great presentation, Danny. Thanks a lot, Joseph, for giving me this opportunity. All right, folk. Again, if you look at this slide, it says no code AI automation and orchestration at scale. Now, you might be wondering, in a cybersecurity event, why are we talking about, no code automation, that too, without any mention of cybersecurity at all, right? So I get that, that can be a genuine question here. But when we talk about cyber risk, it comes into picture when, when we actually go live with the applications and the processes that we are building, right? But what about the inefficiencies, scalability issues, high go to market time, lack of technical expertise? What about all these challenges? And decisions comes into picture, when we need to resolve and address these challenges. So I represent Decisions. It's a no code business process automation platform which is also doing AI powered process orchestration now. The company is based out of US and I come from the India office of Decisions. And today we are just going to look at a very brief what the platform does and how it is helping businesses resolve and address the challenges that I just mentioned. So just a brief overview. We have close to 300 customers spread across globally now, and our strong suit and expertise lies in BFSI and healthcare, given the strength of our rules engine. We have an extensive network of 80 plus partners, again, spread across the globe, that are helping our end consumers and customers, with successful implementation and go live. And now we are close to touching 300 employees globally. Now, this is a glimpse of how our customer base and clientele looks like. So if you look at this slide very carefully, you will see the biggest chunk is financial services, followed by healthcare, and then the rest of them. This is, again, as I mentioned before, it's because of the workflows manager, rules engine, and the integrations capabilities that we have. We are able to simplify business processes for these companies, like mortgage processing, loan origination, claim automation, clinical trials, validating patient data. All of that can be done very easily using this. And we also have presence with government, retail, manufacturing, and other industries that are out there. Now, these are the features that we offer. And if you have a look at it, you can run any kind of complex business rule on all your data that might be residing with you or might be in an external source of record. It doesn't matter. Decisions can connect with all kinds of data sources and let you create all kinds of complicated business rules. And this is all done using no code. This is the catch here. So your business users can write these rules. You don't need technical programmers and coders to write these rules. So that is the beauty of it. Same goes for the workflow manager. You can automate any kind of business processes and create workflows around it. Approval tasks, batch processing, doing ETL, doing data enrichment, all of that can be done very easily. Then we have process mining. All these processes that you do, are there any deviations in that process? Are there any variants? Is it actually following the ideal path that it should be following, right? What is your cost center? What are the bottlenecks? How is your resource allocation being done? All of that will be, all the insights regarding the process will be provided by our mining agents. Integrations, we have a very strong services layer. We offer more than 50 out-of-the-box connectors to systems like SAP, Salesforce, ServiceNow, Kafka, Okta, SAML, and you name it, and we have it. And apart from that, you can call any endpoint that is external to Decisions, and any external system can call Decisions as well. So it's two-way integrations. And finally, all of this is done using our no-code interface designers. So you can create seamless UI, you can build workflows, you can build rules. So let's talk about what we actually do, right? So we classify ourselves into 3 different umbrellas. So these are the automation patterns that we usually fulfill 90% of the time, starting with rules engine and decisioning. As I have mentioned, we have 8 different kinds of rules that business users can build. So if you look at the slide there, it's a simple example of a decision table and how, just like an Excel sheet, you can actually create a rule that is going to run on your live real-time data. Apart from that, you can write rules to, perform clinical trials, do mortgage processing, do medical claims processing, all of that. If you look at the logos at the top, we are working with Roche Genentech, one of the biggest biotech company. They are feeding in lab trial data to Decisions to actually see, what are the outcome going to be from the rules. We work with Nationwide Insurance. They are running 8,000 rules using Decisions every day, leading to millions of transactions every year. Now, this is a very great slide. If you look at the left-hand side of the side, it is actually a code written in C# to write a rule to determine the dosage amount for a patient based on their height and weight. On the right hand side, it's the same rule written in decisions using a truth table. Now, just look how simplified and user friendly it looks, right? Even your business user, your business analyst, your pre-sales folks can go ahead and build this rule. And the beauty of it is very easily maintainable. Tomorrow, if you want to go ahead and change the dosage from 300 milligrams to 350, it is done within seconds. And there is version control given to you as well. So this is the example of what we are doing for Roche Genentech. You can see we have integrated with all their labs, and all the lab data comes to different sources. We can integrate with all of them. You can see S3, Snowflake, and there are many more. And once the data is entered into these data sources, we run our rules models and algorithms that are written, and we enrich the data, we validate the data. Basically, the data that comes out of it, we call it golden data. It is again sent back to the external storage that it should go to. Right? This is just one of the examples. And at the top, you can see we can connect with message queues to again give out tasks or give out action items based on the outcome of the rules that were triggered. This is another example, automating the claims processing. You have underwriters who need to work upon thousands of policy applications. But it usually is very paper heavy, it is very tedious. But with decisions, what you can do is all the preliminary checks that you require, you write them in form of business rules, feed all your policy data to that. It eliminates all the claims and processes that are supposed to be eliminated without the need for human intervention. And then it goes finally to the underwriters where it just requires a final approval or review. This is another use case example, extend and expand, right? Nowadays, everyone is so tech savvy. We have like 20, 30 applications in our organization. And every one of these applications have different processes built on them, right? But what about if these processes need to interact with each other? There is data lying in another process that you need to consume in a different process altogether. Decisions helps you with extending and expanding. You can take in your data, process outcome from one application, run some business logic on it, feed it to a third application, and you can keep doing it for your complete tech ecosystem. So this is another example of us doing that. You have Corning here that uses decisions integrated with SAP, where we are feeding in the SKUs and the inventory requirements, where again, there are multiple data sources connected. It does standardization, validation, and real-time calculation of the data, and then it sends back for approval if required. And finally, end-to-end workflows, where you can build workflows with UI. There can be assignments within the workflows, there can be rules, there can be API calls. There is a lot of possibility with what you can achieve using our tool. So this is another example of how we use it internally. We believe in drinking our own champagne or eating our own food, right? So that's what we do. We use all these different applications, and decisions helps us connecting all those applications together and making sure all the processes are completely seamless and synchronized. This is our architecture at a very high level. I won't spend much time here. You can see the client layer where we have the studio and the portal depending on the user permissions. You have the data layer, we support all kinds of databases. You have the authentication, and finally you have the services layer which can connect to all kinds of external systems. This is how the platform looks like. You can see the end user portal. So it is for the end users and the consumers to consume data in terms of dashboards, forms, reports, and all of that. And you have the studio, which is essentially for your business analysts, designers, and developers to build these applications. And everything is no code, drag and drop. So we have recently, introduced AI as part of our platform as well. So you are actually able to orchestrate and automate processes using AI. So we have ChatGPT inbuilt with the Decisions platform, and we are moving ahead with Bard and Claude 2 in few months as well. So you can see these are the use cases that we have already tried our hands on and built and deployed as accelerator. So they are actually readily available for you to use now. So you can do meeting summarization. All the meetings that you are part of, it gives you a very crisp summary of what were the key takeaways, what was the discussion, what are the next items, and things like that. We have our own chatbots now. All the knowledge base that we have, historical data that we have converted all of that into chatbots. So there's no need of going back into history, looking through data and trying to give out responses to RFPs, SOPs, or whatever that is. And we have also automated accounts payable or invoice processing process, as we all know. So yeah, I'll just stop here. This was my quick presentation. We do have some time left. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to address them.